Uniswap value equivalent to 139.46 rands a coin. The present cost range 136.61 147.52. The earlier day close 140.45. The change was 0.99 for 70%. Backwards rate ZAR to Uni. Uniswap cost expectation for September 2024. At the outset cost at 142 rands. Excessive cost 177, while low cost 142. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 157. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 165. Change for September 16 2%. Uniswap conjecture for October 2024. At the outset cost at 165 rands. Excessive cost 180, while low cost 156. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 167. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 168. Change for October 18%. Uniswap cost expectation for November 2024. Initially cost at 168 rands. Excessive cost 209, while low cost 168. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 185. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 195. Change for November 16 1%. Uniswap figure for December 2024. Initially cost at 195 rands. Excessive cost 242, while low cost 195. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 215. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 226. Change for December 15 9%. Uniswap cost expectation for January 2025. Before all else cost at 226 rands. Excessive cost 226, while low cost 193. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 213. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 208. Change for January 8%. Uniswap figure for February 2025. Before all else cost at 208 rands. Exorbitant cost 228, while low cost 198. The found the middle value of cost 212. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 213. Change for February 24%. Uniswap cost expectation for WARC 2025. In the first place cost at 213 rands. Exorbitant cost 231, while low cost 201. The found the middle value of cost 215. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 216. Change for spring 14%. Uniswap conjecture for April 2025. At the outset cost at 216 rands. Excessive cost 269, while low cost 216. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 238. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 251. Change for April 16 2%. Uniswap cost expectation for May 2025. Initially cost at 251 rands. Excessive cost 269, while low cost 233. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 251. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 251. Change for May 1%. Uniswap conjecture for June 2025. At the outset cost at 251 rands. Excessive cost 266, while low cost 232. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 250. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 249. Change for June's 8%. Uniswap cost expectation for July 2025. First and foremost cost at 249 rands. Exorbitant cost 249, while low cost 214. The found the middle value of cost 236. Uniswap cost estimate toward the month's end 230. Change for July 7 6%. Uniswap conjecture for August 2025. At the outset cost at 230 rands. Excessive cost 230, while low cost 193. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 215. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 208. Change for August 9 6%. Uniswap cost expectation for September 2025. First and foremost cost at 208 rands. Exorbitant cost 232, while low cost 202. The found the middle value of cost 215. Uniswap cost estimate toward the month's end 217. Change for September 4 3%. Uniswap estimate for October 2025. First and foremost cost at 217 rands. Exorbitant cost 270, while low cost 217. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 239. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 252. Change for October 16, 1%. Uniswap cost expectation for November 2025. Before all else cost at 252 rands. Excessive cost 252, while low cost 205. They arrived at the midpoint of cost 232. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 220. Change for November 12, 7%. Uniswap conjecture for December 2025. Before all else cost at 220 rands. Exorbitant cost 240, while low cost 208. They found the middle value of cost 223. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 224. Change for December 18%. Uniswap cost expectation for January 2026. In the first place, cost at 224 rands. Exorbitant cost 261, while low cost 224. They found the middle value of cost 238. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 244. Change for January 89%. Uniswap estimate for February 2026. First and foremost, cost at 244 rands. Exorbitant cost 292, while low cost 244. They found the middle value of cost 263. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 273. Change for February 11.9%. Uniswap cost expectation for Walk 2026. Before all else cost at 273 rands. Excessive cost 296, while low cost 258. They arrived at the midpoint of cost 276. Uniswap cost figure toward the month's end 277. Change for spring 15%. Uniswap figure for April 2026. Before all else cost at 277 rands. Excessive cost 343, while low cost 277. They arrived at the midpoint of cost 305. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 321. Change for April 15.9%. Uniswap cost expectation for May 2026. Before all else cost at 321 rands. Exorbitant cost 321, while low cost 273. They found the middle value of cost 302. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 294. Change for May 84%. Uniswap gauge for June 2026. In the first place, cost at 294 rands. Exorbitant cost 320, while low cost 278. They found the middle value of cost 298. Uniswap cost gauge toward the month's end 299. Change for June 17%. Uniswap cost expectation for July 2026. At the outset, cost at 299 rands. Excessive cost 325, while low cost 283. They arrived at the midpoint of cost 303. Uniswap cost conjecture toward the month's end 304. Change for July 17%. Uniswap conjecture for August 2026. At the outset, cost at 304 rands. Excessive